Bloodsport, Talon's Luna. She's his Luna, until she isn't. A year ago, I stepped into the arena with fire in my veins and love in my heart. The prize, a rare red gemstone, wasn't just a trophy. It was meant to be our mating ring, a symbol of my bond with Alpha Talon. Just as I was about to seize it, his secretary, Elena, challenged me. Talon only laughed. Let her have it, sweetheart. You're Luna now. Be gracious. But I wasn't. I crushed her in front of the entire pack. She ran off sobbing, and I held the gem up to him with pride. He kissed my forehead. My fierce little wildcat. We mated that night. And the next. And every night for the year that followed. I gave him everything. My body. My loyalty. My heart. Then, a private arena invitation arrived. On a massive screen, I saw myself writhing beneath Talon, eyes glazed with pleasure. Moments I thought were ours alone, exposed for sport. Talon stood beside Elena, his arm possessively around her waist. You love to fight, don't you? He said with a smile that sliced like a knife. There are over 100 challengers here. One by one, they'll face you. And whoever wins, gets a X-tape of you and me. A full year's archive. The man I gave my soul to never loved me. I wasn't his mate. I was his entertainment. My alpha mate placed our X-tape in the Werewolf arena as a prize for the winner, simply because I defeated his mistress in the same arena a year prior. A year ago, I had my sights set on the prize from the Werewolf arena, a pair of rare ruby healing crystals. I wanted to embed them in the mating rings for myself and my alpha mate, Talon. As the only daughter of the Oakshade Pack Alpha, the most powerful pack in the Northern Territory, I easily won the battle. Just as I was about to declare victory and accept the prize, Talon's secretary Elena stepped forward. She said she liked the gemstones and wanted to challenge me. Talon laughed helplessly. Sweetheart, she's a member of our pack. Young girls love these shiny things. As the Luna of our pack, you should be generous and let her have them, okay? I refused outright. These were the only gemstones I had liked in a year of searching. But before the battle began, Elena's wolf trembled under my wolf's dominance and refused to shift at all. That day, Elena cried as she ran off the platform. I proudly showed Talon my prize. He kissed my forehead helplessly. My stubborn little wildcat. He did not go after Elena. Following our mating ceremony, he claimed me night after night for a year, in every way imaginable, never allowing me to rest. Talon was extremely thoughtful towards me. He always made time for me, regardless of how busy he was with pack affairs. Every holiday and anniversary, he would thoughtfully prepare gifts for me. I imagined we'd be happy forever. Until I was invited to a private combat arena. Videos and photos of me beneath Talon, my eyes hazy with desire, were prominently displayed as the winner's prize. Talon had an arm around Elena's waist. Don't you love dueling? There are over 100 people here. I'll have them challenge you one by one. Whoever wins gets a X-tape of you and me. A whole year's worth. He paused, his gaze cold. If you don't want them falling into other people's hands, you'll have to win every single battle. But a week ago, I was wounded by a silver arrow while rescuing Talon from a rogue wolf trap he'd unintentionally stepped into. Everyone knows that my wolf has lost her healing abilities. She's frail, barely holding on. Talon is fully aware of this, yet he deliberately chose this time to challenge me. I stand in the auction hall, staring coldly as over 100 werewolf warriors point and whisper at me. Everyone knows Serafina was just injured recently. There's no way she could recover this fast. We're definitely all going to get a taste of her charms, right? I heard she's especially wild in the Alpha's bed. Can't wait to see for myself. A warrior with scarred arms laughs rudely. Never thought I'd have the chance to watch starring the Alpha heiress of Oakshade Pack and the Luna of Ashfern Pack. She always acts so high and mighty. Really want to know what she's like behind closed doors. Another person licks his lips greedily. The Alpha's so generous, willing to share his mate's videos with us. We'll follow you forever, Alpha. The men exchange knowing glances as they look at Talon, who is sitting in the main seat. I clench my fists, trembling as I turn to face my beloved companion. Elena sits beside him, in what was once my seat. Talon does not even try to hide it. He smiles slightly. Whoever defeats Serafina gets her complete photo collection as a bonus. Plus full recordings of that night. His voice carries well across the hall. Alpha's the best. The men erupt with excitement. Talon looks at me, amusement flashing across his handsome features. Don't look at me like that. I told you, you can defeat all of them. Over 100 people. Aren't you a mighty warrior? Don't you never back down? Then fight well. Try not to die on the battle platform. He pauses and tilts his head mockingly. Take your time though. A stocky warrior exclaims gleefully. Oh Alpha, don't you know? Serafina was severely injured recently. I heard a silver arrow went straight through her shoulder blade. Her wolf is practically dead. She can probably barely stand right now. There's no way she'll win today. We're all going to feast our eyes. So what if she's the Oakshade Pack's famous female warrior? Another sneers. No one has ever won a duel after being hit with silver. Especially not against 100 of us. Talon raises his eyebrow, pretending ignorance. Oh? Is that so? How could he not know? I was injured while saving him. Just yesterday, he was holding my hand and whispering sweet love words. All that tenderness has transformed into swords aimed at my heart. What a shame. Over 100 videos, each one spectacular. Honestly, after we all win, we can share them with each other. That way everyone gets to appreciate the Luna's full repertoire. One warrior looks at Talon, uncertainly. We just want to make sure you really don't mind, Alpha. She is your mate, after all. Talon laughs and raises his hand. Gentlemen, don't feel any psychological burden about today's duels. Don't think of Serafina as the Pax Luna. Fight with everything you've got. As for trading your spoils afterward, that's all private business. Of course I won't interfere. He smiles wider, his eyes as cold as winter. Good things should be shared among friends, shouldn't they? The entire hall erupts into cheers. Alpha's the best. You guys don't know yet, do you? That rogue wolf attack that injured Serafina was actually planned by the Alpha himself. The prize videos were also carefully prepared by the Alpha. They're absolutely explosive. You'll definitely be satisfied. To repay the Alpha's generosity, you better use Serafina properly in the upcoming duels. Talon's most trusted beta says this with a cruel grin. Really? We're battle-hardened warriors. Can't we handle one injured wolf? What's there to worry about? There are over 100 of us. Don't fight over turns, everyone gets a piece. I can't wait to see how that Ice Queen looks in bed. I'm definitely taking her down. The surrounding werewolves resume their crude chatter, spewing filthy language. But I don't hear anything anymore. I tremble with clenched fists and look at Talon in disbelief. The attack that injured me, you arranged it. Talon just smiles at me. Tears run down my cheeks. My voice is hoarse. Why, just because I defeated Elena a year ago. Talon disregards my anguish and takes the microphone. Time is limited, Miss Serafina. If you don't dare get on the platform to duel, I'll just distribute the prizes to our warriors directly. The men look at me with predatory amusement. Every single person here is an elite warrior from the Ash Fern pack. And I only have one seriously injured beta wolf. They probably don't see me as a threat. How could I compete with them? I need to use the loo. I quickly wipe away my tears and turn to leave. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll lose it all right here. Whatever happens, I must maintain my composure. I can't let them see me break down. I silently swear to myself, I am a warrior. This is a battle to protect my dignity. I won't lose. Behind me, mocking laughter erupts. Is she scared? Too chicken to get on the platform? Just kneel down and beg for mercy. Since you're so pretty, I'll go easy on you. Ha ha ha. Alpha, forget about her. Her wolf is practically dead. How can she duel with us? She's obviously too embarrassed to admit it, using the toilet as an excuse to run away. Oakshade Pack's greatest female warrior is nothing but a coward. All of you, shut up. Talon's voice breaks through the noise like ice. He looks intently at the entrance. Nobody dares to speak another word. I quickly gather myself because my wolf says to me, go fight. I can do this. Soon, I will return to the arena. Under everyone's watchful gaze, I take my seat. My eyes are still red. Let's begin. Talon looks at me, slightly surprised. To clearly display the prizes, which are my intimate video screenshots, the host's screen behind him has been transformed into a panoramic surround display. 360 degrees with no blind spots, constantly revealing my humiliation. As a result, everyone can enjoy the view from any angle. These are the prize screenshots from the first competition. Anyone who wants them can step onto the platform. The host smiles meaningfully. Only the first 2 people on stage get to compete. Finally, another beta warrior and I stand on the platform, ready to do battle. The host says nothing but smiles before displaying a text introduction. I suddenly understand what it is. It's a detailed account of the key events from my and Talon's wedding night. The night of our mating ceremony. Because we had completed the werewolf bond that night, we were both filled with desire. Aside from me, the only person who could write such intimate details is. I tremble as I look at Talon. He sits quietly, a mocking smile forming in the corner of his mouth. As if nothing in this situation has anything to do with him. Only when Elena leans in to whisper in his ear does he turn his body, his eyes soft with tenderness. The discussions around me are threatening to drown me. I thought the photos were hot enough, but the details are even more explosive than I imagined. Such a shame I didn't get a spot to compete. Caro, after you win, you have to let me watch. The battle begins. My opponent looks at me with arrogance. Want me to go easy on you? Your wolf can't last much longer, right? My wolf's claws pierced his throat without warning. He collapses immediately and is swiftly carried away by the healers. Despite winning the first round, I recently suffered a serious injury. My wolf's body still trembles slightly. Everyone stares at me. The host maintains a professional demeanor as he looks at me. First round winner, Serafina. Will you continue to stay on the platform for the next duel? I am alone on the massive battle platform, my voice weak. Yes. Tisk. What a shame. That video must be incredible. What are you worried about? How many rounds can she survive? Exactly. The later ones will be even better. We won't lose out waiting. First round winner, Serafina. Congratulations on obtaining the prize video. I close my eyes as my nails dig deep into my palms. The large screen immediately switches to screenshots from the second video, complete with detailed descriptions. The prize for the second duel. Anyone who wants it can come challenge the first round winner. The arena erupts with excitement. Does this really exist? I have to win. I need to be the first to watch this video. Someone steps onto the platform and speaks to me. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Who would have thought? You look so pure and innocent, but you're such a slut in private. I glare at him. He immediately bursts out laughing. Hey, I love that look. The alpha doesn't want you anymore, so come find me instead. As long as you're willing to spend one passionate night with me, I'll throw this match. How about it? Get lost. We're both warriors. I'll defeat you fair and square. My voice is as cold as death. He snorts dismissively. Stop pretending. Used goods that everyone's had their turn with. His wolf charged at me. Our wolves fought for nearly 10 minutes, tearing and biting each other. Finally, I find an opening and strike hard, using my back claws to break through his defense and my front claws to rip open his abdomen, defeating him. The host gives me a meaningful smile. Second round winner, Serafina. After obtaining the prize video, he smiles at me professionally. You've already fought 2 rounds. Will you continue to stay on the platform for the next duel? If you get injured, our arena won't cover your medical expenses. My voice is tired. Continue. Ha! Before releasing screenshots from the third video, the host's disdain is evident. The prize for the third duel. Anyone who wants it can come challenge anyone who wants to challenge me. Hurry up and get on here. Everyone looks surprised when they hear my voice. The host turns to face me. Luna, your wolf has been injured, and our professional healers have assessed your condition. You can only fight a maximum of 2 battles per day. Your wolf shouldn't be able to support you through another match. A man winks at me playfully. Please, sweetheart. We will let you win. I completely ignore them and focus on Talon instead. He's looking right at me. However, his expression contains no hint of help. Instead, his mouth curves in disdain. Everyone turns to face him. After all, he is still my mate. What are you all staring at me for? Talon smiles carelessly. I said all prizes go to the duel winners. Those are the arena rules. They don't need to change just because she's Luna. The men sigh in relief. Thank you, Alpha. Just then, Elena, who had been sitting beside him the entire time, raises her hand. How about this? For my sake, let Sister Serafina win this round. Talon looks at her. After a moment of surprise, his face lights up with barely concealed amusement. Elena looks at me. After all, when I was working as the Alpha's secretary, Serafina often helped me. I can't be ungrateful now. Talon's smile deepens as he watches Elena. His usually cold features appear to melt, like ice thawing. Everyone begins cheering. No wonder Alpha likes Elena. Who wouldn't love someone so obedient? Elena's such a good girl, kind and innocent. She blushes when she hears dirty talk, unlike certain people. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Their meaningful stares cut me like swords. Elena's mouth flickers with barely noticeable smugness before she turns to face me. Sister, don't worry. Hypocrite. She freezes upon hearing my response. What? Your way of repaying me is to steal my seat and seduce my mate. I lean back in my chair. Sorry, but I haven't fallen low enough to need help from a whore and a piece of trash. Serafina. Talon rarely talks to me anymore. His tone is cold and unfamiliar. I cast an icy glance at him before returning my gaze to the host. This is my battle. I'll handle it myself. This, the host appears troubled. If you want to continue fighting, you must sign a death waiver. Whatever happens in the continued battles, life or death will have nothing to do with our arena. Cut the crap. I firmly sign the death waiver. I know everyone below wants to see me fail and be mocked and humiliated. That is also Talon's goal. But I won't give them that satisfaction. Another brutal battle ensues. Finally, I slam the opposing werewolf off the platform with a single powerful strike, winning the third round. Tisk, tisk, tisk. This woman has completely lost it. The men shake their heads, mockingly. Risking her life for her pride. What a waste. I had my eye on that particular segment, really wanted to see the full version. No worries. We haven't even gotten through a fraction of them yet. Over 100 videos total. What are you afraid of? She definitely can't win that many rounds. Exactly. I snuck a peek. The later videos get even more explosive. We'll just take the ones at the end. Ha ha ha. Everyone's gaze, whether pitying or mocking, is fixed on me. Just a cornered beast fighting desperately. Next round, she'll have to watch us claim her videos. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Really want to know what expression she'll have then. Will it be the same as when she was under the alpha? Snickering laughter permeates the air indefinitely. I swallow the lump in my throat, silently tightening my fists, and look up at the host. Screenshots of the fourth video are quickly displayed. Many people below are agitated, but I stand firm on the battle platform. Anyone who wants to challenge me, come on up. I speak. Everyone's gaze is focused on me at the same time. The host struggles to keep his smile. Miss Serafina, please don't disrupt the order. Keep this up and we'll have to escort you out. I respond coldly. I'm not disrupting anything. I said I want to continue dueling. And not just this round. I want to challenge everyone here until I win all the prizes. The host and the audience below exchange glances before bursting into laughter. Even Elena can't help but let out a pft, and lean into Talon's shoulder. Talon's eyes are so sensitive that they could drip water. His usually cold expression softens slightly. Has she lost her mind? Over 100 one-on-one duels? She didn't have that kind of strength before she was injured. Apart from the alpha, who else would say something like that? The host takes a few seconds to adjust before resuming his professional smile. Miss Serafina, you had already reached your limit in the last round. I'm afraid you can't shift anymore, can you? Your wolf is unlikely to emerge, so you will be unable to participate in this duel. Those who want this prize, please step onto the platform and give us an exciting match. Crack! I grab the fang that fell from the werewolf I just defeated and throw it with force. Crash! The sharp fang embeds deep into the wall behind the host, causing him to stumble back several steps. I look at him coldly. I said I wanted to continue dueling. Can't you get that? Serafina. Someone becomes impatient. We gave you 3 rounds because we respect you as Luna. You can't even transform into your wolf. Stop pretending. Deliberately disrupting the normal course of arena duels has consequences. We're doing you a favor by wanting your videos, so don't be ungrateful. The host's smile eventually cracks. Miss Serafina, if it weren't for the alpha, you wouldn't even be able to enter the dueling arena. Continue causing trouble, and don't blame security for escorting you out. I narrow my eyes. Who said I couldn't shift? Talon looks at me calmly, with no emotion. Everyone else stops for a moment. Quit joking around. Sure, it's a private duel, but do you believe our healers are playing games? Do you think we don't know your physical condition? I look to the host. As long as I can shift, I can challenge, correct? Well, yes, but, then I will prove it to you. You can have the healers examine my body again. I interrupted the host's words. Everyone exchanges uncertain glances, and Talon's brow furrows almost imperceptibly. I move the microphone closer to myself. What's wrong? You're not going to be sore losers, are you? Humph. Okay, let's check. If you want to play, we'll make sure you're 100% convinced. All of the video screenshots on the big screen are pulled down, and every camera in the venue focuses on me as the host summons the arena's private healers. The host repositions himself. We now hand over the stage to Miss Serafina. Please show us your wolf. Everyone on the screen looks at me intently, their expressions tense. Many people whisper among themselves. Why is she so calm? Can she still shift? No way, the Alpha saw the silver arrow pass through her with his own eyes. Her wolf couldn't have appeared more than 3 times in such a short period, let alone dueled 3 times. She's definitely bluffing. Has she lost her mind? Is she humiliating herself in front of everyone? Maybe she has a method we don't know about. Everyone looks fixedly at the screen. After 5 minutes, nothing happens on the platform, my wolf does not appear, and all that remains on the battle stage is my solitary figure. The entire venue erupts with laughter. I thought she was really skilled. It turns out she's actually crazy. Talon's mouth curves with disdain, and Elena laughs so hard that tears well up. The host gives a gesture. I apologize, Miss Serafina. You are causing chaos. Please leave. Thank you for your support of our event today. Security. Immediately, a queue of ferocious-looking men surrounds me, ready to forcibly remove me. Wait. I stand quietly, unruffled, and simply close my eyes in silence. Serafina, what are you taking us for? We don't have time to waste with a lunatic. The host has lost patience and is waving his hand. Drag her out and throw her out. However, as soon as he finishes speaking, his eyes gradually widen and he stares fixedly at me on the platform. How is this possible? Talon suddenly gets up. Everybody stands up. This can't be real, right? Because they are feeling the power of an alpha wolf. In the midst of a crisis, my wolf has long since regained its alpha power, and she has developed incredible healing abilities. The silver arrow never seriously injured me. I'd suspected Talon's bad intentions for a long time, so I never told him about my alpha wolf. The massive silver grey wolf appears behind me, her presence commanding absolute authority, and her eyes glow with ancient power, causing every werewolf in the arena to instinctively submit. Bang! The host knocks the microphone to the floor, grips the table with white knuckles, and stares at my wolf, terrified. It's impossible, how could it be an alpha wolf? His voice cracks with the final word. My alpha wolf's power knocks the security guards who were restraining me to the ground, causing their bodies to hit the floor hard. One guard scrambles away, his face pale. I can't move. Another whispers in horror, she is more powerful than our alpha. I say calmly, my voice carrying across the silent arena. Sorry, but my alpha wolf thinks you're all too weak. She did not want to waste time coming out. It took me a while to persuade her that some insects should be stepped on. I pause and let my gaze sweep across the terrified faces. Hope you'll forgive the delay. Some people collapse into their chairs in disbelief, while others press against the walls, desperate to get away from my wolf. This can't be real, someone says quietly. She was supposed to die. How long has she hidden this? I look straight at the host, who is still frozen behind his table. Can I continue to participate in the remaining duels? Are you all suddenly too busy? The host rushes to recover, wiping rivers of cold sweat from his brow. Yes, yes. A cough. Challengers, please step onto the platform. His voice is shrill from panic. The entire venue erupts into chaos. I am not fighting that. Are you insane? That is a alpha wolf. She could kill all of us without breaking a sweat. The men who had previously harassed me now slump in their chairs, their earlier bravado gone. The warrior who called me a used bitch is now hyperventilating. Oh God, what did I say to her? His friend beside him is shaking so violently that his teeth chatter. We're dead. We are all dead. They're nothing more than prey animals when compared to my alpha wolf, despite their experience as warriors. Remembering what they did to me, what they said, cold sweat beads on their foreheads, the remaining werewolves abandon any idea of dueling due to the massive power gap. No one approaches the platform. Everyone stares in disbelief, their previous excitement transformed into outright fear. How come she has an alpha wolf? Wasn't she seriously injured? Did Alpha lie to us? Has Serafina always hidden her true strength? Bullshit. Why would the Alpha deceive us? Perhaps he didn't know either. I stand up slowly and deliberately, walking step by step towards Talon's seat. Each footfall reverberates in the terrified silence. My alpha wolf can no longer contain herself. She charges forward, pinning Talon down with supernatural speed before he can react. I raise my hand and bring it down hard on his face. Slap! The crisp sound echoes throughout the hall, like a gunshot. Talon's head snaps to the side, revealing a red handprint on his cheek. He slowly turns his head back, his expression cold and stern, but I can see the shock in his eyes. Everyone holds their breath, no one has ever hit an alpha in public like this. Is someone taking secret photos of me? I ask each word clearly, allowing it to sink in. Another slap hits his other cheek, this time harder. Are you recording videos of me? I lean in closer, my voice dropping to a deadly whisper that permeates the entire room. Use my own trauma against me. My hand trembles in fury as I raise the third slap. This time, however, a petite figure rushes forward, her heels clicking frantically on the floor. Sister! Don't! Please do not hurt him! Elena throws herself between us, her arms out wide. Slap! This slap lands squarely on Elena's face with the sound of a whip crack. She spins from the force, blood dripping from her split lip. Talon, who had remained silent and stoic throughout his beating, suddenly loses his composure. Elena! His voice breaks with genuine anguish, and he grabs her as she staggers, his hands gentle and desperate. Elena only received one slap, but she collapses into Talon's arms as if she had suffered a devastating blow, her body going limp. It hurts, she whimpers, her voice low and broken. Talon, it hurts so much. The contrast is sickening. He took 2 brutal slaps without making a sound, but one to her and he panics. Before I can fully comprehend this betrayal, someone yanks my collar hard from behind. I crash to the ground, my knees hitting the concrete. Let go. I struggled hard, but there was a sharp crack from my wrist as they twisted behind my back. Excruciating pain runs through my entire body. I grit my teeth and look up, only to feel the familiar, terrifying agony of flames burning my skin. Talon's bodyguards surround me with torches, the flames casting dancing shadows across their cruel expressions. My alpha wolf retreats deep inside me, whimpering, as her natural fear of flames renders her completely defenseless. The flames lick my arms and legs, and the smell of singed hair fills my nostrils. My wolf was severely burned once while attempting to save Talon from a fire trap, and the trauma is so deep that even my alpha power cannot heal it. This is a secret that only Talon knew. He held me through the nightmares and promised that the flames would never touch me again. Who would have thought that the man I risked my life to save would use it to hurt me the most? Elena's eyes flash with panic, and she takes a quick step forward, linking her arm through Talon's and pressing herself against him. Alpha, let us leave now. I've witnessed far too much violence and bloodshed today. Her voice trembles perfectly, like a terrified young girl. I do not want to stay here anymore. I'm scared they'll hurt you next. She looks at me with feigned terror, as if I were some rabid animal. Talon's face, which had been filled with murderous intent just seconds before, instantly softens, and his expression completely changes when he looks at her. Of course, sweetheart. We should go. He turns and takes the microphone, one arm still protectively around Elena, making sure everyone can hear him clearly. Everyone, from tonight forward, Serafina has nothing to do with me whatsoever. His voice rings out across the silent arena, and every werewolf freezes. I will file an application with the Alpha Council to dissolve our mate bond as soon as possible. Once approved, she will no longer be my mate or Ashfern Pax Beta female. The audience erupts in shocked whispers. He is really doing it. In front of everybody. I've never witnessed a public rejection like this. Talon raises his hand, requesting silence. I invite everyone to witness this declaration. Let it be known that any previous obligations or protections she had under our bond are hereby terminated. As soon as he finishes speaking, a man in an expensive suit rushes through the door, looking agitated. Alpha, this is urgent news. Miss Elena's favorite pigeon blood ruby from last week's preview will be auctioned off tonight at Whitmore's. Oh! Talon raises an eyebrow, his tone veering towards irritation. Just buy whatever Miss Elena prefers outright. Why are you bothering to inform me about something so trivial? Yes, sir. The man quickly turns to leave. His peripheral vision catches sight of me, blood still dripping from the corner of my mouth, my face swollen and bruised, his eyes widen slightly in surprise. But he's professional enough to pretend not to notice anything. Wait. Talon's voice stops him cold. Buy out the entire auction instead. The man spins around, his face turning pale. Mr. Talon. There are 138 auction items total. The estimated value is more than $50 million. Do you want them all? The arena falls silent, and even the werewolves who were attempting to flee pause to listen. Talon is well known for his extravagant spending habits, and purchasing specific items outright is nothing new for him. But buying out an entire Whitmore's auction is unheard of. This assistant has been with him for 8 years and has never seen such an insane display of wealth. Miss Elena was slapped by someone blind and ungrateful today. Talon speaks carelessly, as if he were discussing the weather. I'm giving her a gift to calm her nerves and demonstrate that she's worth more than some people could ever dream of being. His eyes flick to me with disdain. The man swallows hard, his hands shaking as he takes out his phone. I'll call the auction house immediately, sir. He looks at me again with a complicated expression that could be pity. He nods quickly and rushes out, already dialing. Elena exhales, pressing her hands to her chest. Talon, that's too much. You don't have to. Nothing is too much for you. He cuts her off and presses a kiss on her forehead. You deserve the world, and I intend to give it to you. The sickening display makes my stomach turn. Talon. I struggle to my feet, spitting out another mouthful of blood onto the concrete. I was wrong about you. My voice is hoarse, but it carries well in the silent arena. I thought you were worth saving once. I thought you had honor. I wiped the blood from my split lip. I was wrong about everything. He frowned slightly, possibly surprised by my firm tone. But I've already turned my back on him and begun walking towards the exit. Serafina, wait, I do not look back. We're done, Talon. Completely done. The arena doors slam behind me, making an echoing bang. That evening, I host an emergency gathering of Luna women from the Southern Territories at my villa. My dining room is filled with the most powerful females in werewolf society, including Luna's alpha daughters and pack heiresses. My best friend Ivy is the first to arrive, taking one look at my bruised face before slamming her wine glass down so hard that it shatters. This is absolutely outrageous. If you hadn't carried him back from that wolf den 8 years ago, he'd be dead as dead can be by now. Her voice shakes with fury. 7 or 8 women immediately surrounded me and took turns applying ice packs to my face. Many people are frowning and clicking their tongues in disgust. Alpha Talon was really brutal on you, sister, says Sophia, Luna of the Rage Howl Pack. Everyone in our territory knows you nearly lost your leg to lava burns searching for him when he was trapped in those volcanic caves. You even left your wolf with permanent trauma from the fire. 3 months of recovery, says Eve, the Silver Moon Alpha's daughter. And now look, you carried him down the mountain for a day and night through a blizzard, but somehow it's become that little snake Elena who saved him. I grit my teeth to control my emotions and signal my servants. Bring out the files from my study. All of them. They return with several thick folders and a laptop full of audio recordings. I arranged photos on the massive dining table like playing cards. Evidence of Elena's underground affairs with your mates, fiancés, and business partners is all here. The women lean forward, their eyes widening as they recognize the faces. I'll need your help going forward. I'm returning to inherit Oakshade Pack and take my rightful place as Alpha. I pause to let it sink in. This time was really too dangerous. Thank goodness you all warned me in advance about Talon's malicious intentions through our network, or my photos and videos would have become tools for those men to assault my reputation. They might have even spread across the entire internet. Most of these women are good friends that I've made over the years through strategic socializing. More importantly, marriages between packs frequently involve complex political and financial interests. Being able to obtain compromising information on a mate, particularly a pack's alpha, provides leverage for improved territorial agreements and resource allocation. The Alpha Council closely monitors alpha wolf behavior and occasionally allows capable Lunas to challenge alphas for management rights when they prove unfit. They each grab evidence of their other half's actions, their hands trembling with rage and excitement. Damn that little slut! Ivy snarls, holding up a photo of Elena and her companion. She'll do anything to climb up the social ladder. That kind of manipulative witch, and that fool Talon treats her like she's made of gold. Sophia slams her fist onto the table. Look at this. My Jackson with this whore. In our own pack's guest house. Thank goodness Serafina was perceptive enough to help us notice Elena's irregularities, so Lara says, clutching pictures of her alpha fiancé. Now when we apply to dissolve our bonds, we have complete evidence to make them lose management rights to their entire packs. I lean back on the velvet sofa, enjoying their fury. I never expected that the little orphan girl Talon and I once sponsored for school would have such grand, calculating schemes. When I return to Oakshade Pack to inherit the alpha position, I hope our packs can unite and become stronger together. I raise my wine glass. A female alliance that can reshape the werewolf political landscape. I hope our wishes come true and those scumbags pay the price they deserve, Ivy tells me. I believe we females can also become excellent alphas better than these foolish men who think with their lower halves. Women cheer and clink glasses. To the downfall of unfaithful mates. To female power. I can't help but laugh, as I feel truly happy for the first time in weeks. We spent hours strategizing. Each woman will file a formal complaint with the Alpha Council. The evidence is overwhelming. By morning, half the alphas in the Southern Territories will be under investigation. That night, everyone drinks until they are completely intoxicated with wine and revenge. But the next day, as I'm sleeping off the wine in my silk sheets, my best friend Ivy wakes me up with a violent urgency. Serafina! Wake up right now! Your intimate photos have been leaked online. I sit up immediately, my drunken haze dissipating like smoke. My heart races as Ivy thrusts her phone into my face. I open my phone with trembling fingers, and sure enough, over 100 videos have been processed in high definition, compressed, and distributed across the entire internet. Every major social media platform. Every werewolf forum. Every gossip website. My face appears everywhere. My social media accounts are flooded with private messages. There are thousands of them. I scroll through with increasing horror. Never would have guessed. You act so pure normally, claiming to be the only daughter of Oakshade Pack's Alpha, but you are just a bitch. How much per night, sister? What about $99.99 with free home delivery? Do you feel lonely, little kitten? I can deliver to your door. Holy crap, she's wild. Look at her in video number 47. This is why you can't put your trust in these high class. They are all whores underneath. My hands begin trembling violently. Serafina, breathe, Ivy urges, grabbing my shoulders. Just breathe. But I can't. The messages keep coming. Hundreds more are flooding in every minute. My phone's notifications make me want to throw it against the wall. Only I had access to the entire footage from that arena. After I won, the host handed everything to me personally. The only person with the ability to leak it online is the mastermind himself, Talon. That bastard, I whisper. That absolute bastard. But before I can call him and express my outrage, my phone rings. The former Alpha and Luna of the Ash Fern Pack, Talon's parents Richard and Maria, have called me. I respond with a shaking voice. Hello, Serafina, we're so sorry. This time we meant well but caused terrible harm. Richard's voice is full of guilt and exhaustion. I freeze, my anger turning to confusion. What are you talking about? What do you mean you caused harm? Through their halting explanation, I finally understand the entire devastating story. After the duels ended that day, I went straight to Richard and Maria and told them everything that had happened. Each humiliating detail. Then I informed them of Talon's decision to end our relationship. My parents and they had been close friends for years. Before my parents died in that rogue attack, they entrusted me with their care, which is why I was willing to put my life in danger to save Talon in the beginning. They've treated me like their own daughter for years, so I couldn't leave without saying goodbye. However, after I left their mansion that night, Richard and Maria became so enraged that they couldn't sleep. We were furious. Maria's voice cracks over the phone. We couldn't believe our son would treat you like that. So we decided to investigate this Elena girl ourselves, Richard says grimly. They thoroughly investigated Elena within hours, leveraging their extensive connections and resources. What they discovered made them sick. They forced Elena out of Ash Fern Pack that night, using very direct methods involving pack enforcers and threats. They assumed my rage and humiliation were caused by Elena, the home wrecker. However, they failed to recognize that this was not the root cause at all. The source was Talon himself. We thought if we got rid of her, maybe you two could work things out, Maria says. We were so stupid. When Talon returned to his penthouse and discovered Elena missing, he went completely insane. He scoured his flat for clues. He called everyone he knew. When he found out I had visited his parents, he immediately assumed I had tipped off and used them to drive Elena away. As retaliation, he leaked all of my private photos and videos online. He's lost his mind, Richard says gravely. We've been trying to stop the spread, but it's too late. We're so sorry, Serafina. I hang up and quickly dress, my mind racing. When I arrive at Richard and Maria's grand mansion, I can hear the sounds before I even enter. The crack of leather against flesh. Shouting. Pain. A butler lets me in, his expression grim and apologetic. I follow the sounds to Richard's study, where the door is open. Talon is bound in silver chains and kneeling on the hardwood floor, while Richard lashes his back with a silver whip. The weapon hisses and steams as it comes into contact with his skin. Apologize. Will you apologize or not? Richard's face is flushed with anger and exhaustion. Talon's hands are tied behind his back with additional silver chains. His back is already torn open and bleeding, and the whip has ripped his expensive shirt to shreds, revealing raw, bloody flesh. The injuries are worse than they were 8 years ago, on that snowy night when I discovered him half dead in the rogue wolf den. Despite the pain, he grits his teeth, cold sweat beading on his brow from enduring the silver's burn. No, his voice is barely audible, but the defiance is clear. You bastard! Richard raises the whip again, his entire body trembling with rage. Just as he is about to strike again, I speak up. Dad, that's enough. Both men froze. Richard turns with the whip still raised. Serafina. Richard and Maria rush over to me, their expressions mixed with relief and guilt. Maria immediately begins fussing over me and checking my face for injuries. "Oh sweetheart, we're so sorry. We made everything worse." Richard pulls me in front of the kneeling Talon, still holding the whip. "Apologize to Serafina. Right now." Talon slowly raises his head, looking at me through his sweat-soaked hair. Though pain clearly twists his features and silver burns eat into his flesh, he manages to smile through gritted teeth. "She doesn't deserve it." Even now, in this situation, he remains defiant. "You ungrateful son!" Richard's boot connects with Talon's chest in a vicious kick, knocking him to the ground. Talon strikes the hardwood with a sickening thud, blood spurting from his mouth. I take a step forward and stop Richard from moving any further. "Dad, please. I'm going to dissolve our bond anyway. This won't change anything." Talon looks at me from the floor, an unreadable flicker in his eyes. Maria grabs both of my hands, her grip desperate. "Serafina, your parents entrusted you to us before they died, and they made us promise to protect you." Tears stream down her cheek. "Now that he's made such a mess, if we let you leave like this, we'd be failing your parents' spirits. We'd be failing you." I smile gently, even though my heart is breaking. "Don't worry, Dad, Mom. Even after we dissolve our bond, I'll still consider you my parents. Talon's mistakes have nothing to do with you. Please don't feel guilty." I pull 2 protective amulets from my purse, ancient werewolf charms made by my grandmother. I place them in their hands. "I'm flying to North America tonight and won't be back for a while. Let these charms keep you both safe." "Oh, Serafina," they attempt to stop me by reaching out with pleading hands. But I have already turned around. Without looking at Talon, who is still bleeding on the floor, I close the study door and exit the mansion. Behind the closed door, I hear Richard angrily throwing his whip to the ground. "Look what you've done! You drove away such a wonderful Luna. You don't deserve this blessing." Talon's bitter, cold laugh echoes through the door. "Dad, Mom, only you two would be fooled by her. She's always pretended to be pitiful to gain your sympathy." "Shut up!" Maria's voice erupts with rage. I hear the sharp crack of a slap. "When she rescued you from those rogue wolves' den, her entire body was severely burned by lava. She nearly lost her limbs." Her voice breaks with emotion. "During 3 months of treatment, she never once cried out in pain. Never complained. Never asked for anything. And you say she's pretending to be pitiful?" Talon freezes before letting out a scornful laugh that echoes throughout the study. "You're wrong. The person who saved me was Elena, not her." His voice exudes absolute certainty, the kind of arrogance that makes Richard's face flush with rage. "You still have the nerve to mention her." Richard angrily throws a stack of photos at him. They spread across the floor like fallen leaves. "Look. This is your so-called innocent, pure woman who's never been with a man." Talon's eyes widen as he looks down to the floor. Images of Elena intimately entwined with various prominent figures bombard his vision. Politicians, business executives, and even some of his own pack members. The explicitness is so extreme that it's more obscene than any of my hundreds of videos. This is, Talon's voice cracks. He can't complete the sentence. His hands tremble as he picks up photo after photo. Each depicts Elena in compromising positions with various men. Did Serafina give these to you? He raises his head, desperation creeping into his voice. Don't let her fool you. She could have faked these. We can get this stuff with a simple investigation. Richard exclaims. Do we need her to provide it? Richard tosses a USB drive at Talon's feet. Every video corresponds to one of those photos. See for yourself. Talon's hands tremble as he grabs the drive. His wolf instincts are screaming that something is very wrong. Maria sets her laptop on the desk, her expression grim. The first video loads. Talon watches in horror as Elena appears on screen, clearly recognizable and willing. But it isn't just her infidelity that ruins him. In the videos, Elena performs acrobatic positions with these men, including bending, twisting, and supporting her entire weight on her legs. Nothing like a person with leg issues. Nothing like the injured, frail girl who said she could barely walk. No, he whispers. This can't be right. But video after video corroborates the truth. Elena's legs function perfectly. They always have. The memory strikes him like a physical blow. That snowy night 8 years ago, the girl who carried him on her back for miles through the blizzard obviously had severely injured legs, didn't she? She limped with each step. Cried out in pain. Bloody footprints in the snow. However, Elena's legs appear in these videos. The dates, he says abruptly, quickly checking the timestamps. When were these taken? Some are from last month, Maria explains quietly. Some from last week. Some from 3 days ago. 3 days ago. When she was supposedly too weak to walk without his assistance. Talon feels something inside him collapse completely. His entire world, everything he believed, was crumbling into dust. Maria wipes away her tears with a trembling hand. Serafina really saved the wrong person. To keep you from worrying after the rescue, she found her own rehabilitation center. She didn't want to burden you with her recovery. Maria's voice breaks. For 3 months I went to care for her every day. Steel pins drilled into her bones and she never made a sound. Never complained. Never asked for anything. She glares at her son, completely disappointed. In the end, this is how you treat her. Talon sways unsteadily, holding onto the desk for support. 3 months at a rehabilitation center? The pieces click into place with sickening precision. Is this the real reason he didn't see Serafina when he awoke? He had assumed Serafina was heartless and cold because she had not visited him for 3 months while he recovered. Meanwhile, his secretary, Elena, stayed by his side, bringing him food, reading to him, and comforting him. He assumed Serafina did not care. But she was in her own hospital bed, suffering silently. I was so stupid, he mutters. Where are you going? Richard calls after his son, who stumbles towards the exit and nearly falls over. Talon's hands are covered in blood from breaking the silver chains earlier, but he is no longer aware of the pain. I have to bring her back. Stop bothering her. Maria exclaims, rage radiating from every inch of her body. She already hates you to death. Talon's body freezes as he grasps the door frame, his knuckles white. His Adam's apple bobs quickly. He swallows hard, fighting his emotions. There has to be a way to make amends, right? There must be a way to fix this, definitely. His voice sounds like he's trying to persuade himself rather than them. Some things can't be fixed, son, Richard says gravely. But Talon has already stumbled out the door. When he gets to the airport, his heart sinks. I'm sorry, sir. Flight 447 to Canada departed 20 minutes ago, the ticket agent informs him. He quickly checks the passenger manifest, bribing the agent with cash. The connecting flights? Where do they go from Canada? Multiple destinations, sir. Tokyo, Sydney, London, New York. He doesn't know where she went from there. His hands shake as he quickly calls Ivy. The phone rang 4 times before she answered. What do you want, Talon? Her voice is freezing cold. Ivy, please. I need to know where Serafina went. I only know she left, but I don't know where she went. You're lying. His voice cracks in desperation. She wouldn't hide it from you. You're her best friend. Did she tell you not to tell me? Ivy is quiet for a long time. When she speaks, her voice is dead silent. No. She didn't tell me to hide anything from you. She pauses. But Talon, do you think after everything you've done, after humiliating her publicly, after beating her in front of hundreds of people, after leaking her intimate photos online, do you really think you still have the face to see her? Each accusation strikes him as a physical blow. Ivy, please don't. Just don't. She hangs up and immediately blocks his number. Talon stands in the empty departure hall, as streams of travelers rush past him. The hustle and bustle of everyday life continues around him, even as his world falls apart. When Talon sees a woman with dark hair like Serafina, he grabs her arm. Sweetheart. But he's met with a stranger's terrified expression. Let go of me. He reluctantly releases her, mumbling apologies. His phone rang. It's his assistant calling. Alpha, we have a situation. Serafina has reported you to the Alpha Council, accusing you of illegally organizing private duels and public humiliation of a mate. Talon's heart stops. But don't worry, the assistant adds quickly. I negotiated with her legal team and removed all traces of her intimate photos and related topics online. We signed a significant compensation agreement, and she has withdrawn the charges. Who authorized you to pay compensation? Talon's voice is hoarse and barely audible. The assistant appears perplexed. What? Sir, I do not understand. I asked who gave you permission to compensate her. His voice erupts with fury. The assistant pauses, clearly puzzled. Mr. Talon, I understand you and Serafina are having marital problems, but if you don't do this, you will face serious charges. The Alpha Council takes maid abuse extremely seriously. If it affects the development of the Ash Fern Pack, then let it be affected. What? Sir. The assistant is completely bewildered. Talon suddenly feels completely powerless, as if all of his strength has drained from his body. He is unwilling and unable to explain. He hangs up and slumps into an airport chair, staring at the departure board but not seeing it. Without the compensation, she would have had to go to court. He could have seen her face to face. But now, where can he find her? Suddenly, he heard a familiar voice behind him, Elena. Alpha, I heard from your assistant that you had prepared a surprise for me. Elena jumps into Talon's arms as soon as he opens the door. Epilogue. But this time, she does not get her usual embrace. Several men stand behind Talon. She looks at them with curiosity, then stumbles backward in terror. Alpha. How do you know them? Talon raises one eyebrow. Some business partners mentioned they have a history with you. I brought them to catch up on old times. The men move closer to her one by one. You little bitch. You took my money and then went up to the Ashfern Pax Alpha. I have not settled my accounts with you yet. I was just playing with you, and you dared to dance in front of my friend. Now look, my father-in-law kicked me out. It is all because of you, whore. These are all men who had illicit relationships with Elena. They approach step by step, carrying the hatred of being deceived by her. Elena sobs desperately. Alpha. Save me. But all she hears is Talon silently locking the door from outside. No one knows what Elena ultimately experienced. Everyone knows that when she was released, she had completely lost her mind. When Talon finds me and informs me of this, his eyes are filled with pleading. I dealt with the individual who harmed you. You are my mate. Please forgive me. I find it amusing. Talon, Elena hurt me. But you were the person who hurt me the most. He freezes. The sadness on his face transforms into bitter laughter. What if I died? Would you forgive me then? You're too selfish to die. I smile mockingly and turn away. But only a few steps away, there's a loud splash. From the bridge behind me. Somebody jumped. Quickly save him. I whip around. Talon can swim, but he's given up on himself and bound his own wolf with silver chains. Passers-by eventually pull him out. However, his wolf will never be able to emerge again. He looks at me with devotion. Serafina, I have given up half my life. Could this make you forgive me? When I look at his haggard face, 1,000 words come to mind, but I am unable to express any of them. I put a bouquet of flowers in a vase and turn around. Farewell forever. Behind me, a self-deprecating bitter laugh follows. Serafina. You have such a cruel heart.